Hi everyone, this is Himanshu, and in this lecture we will read about the important missions of the NASA. The very first one that we're going to discuss is the DART mission. DART. Now the DART mission means a double asteroid redirection test mission. Double asteroid redirect mission, which is basically use the kinetic impactor technique to change the motion of an asteroid to prevent its impact on the Earth. So basically a kinetic impactor technique has been used in this thing, which will change the motion of an asteroid. If the asteroid is coming at very fast speed, so it will use this kinetic impactor to change its position so that it won't strike to the Earth. So it is mostly it will impact on the small moon of the asteroid Didymos, so that to sway it away from its path, so in order to protect the Earth. So this is mainly for the asteroid. Now the second one that we're gonna discuss is basically the hammer mission. Now the hammer mission is similar to this one, and it is also a defense mechanism against the asteroid. So it is a spacecraft designed to serve as a kinetic impactor, the same this thing Ki, essentially to ram that can be used to nudge the asteroid from its path. So it's a spacecraft, so it will strike to that asteroid in order to deviate it from its path. So it will also contain a nuclear device to annihilate the asteroid before it reaches the Earth. So it's similar to like we are throwing a nuclear missile over the asteroid. So instead of the missile, we're using a spacecraft. So this is what the hammer is basically used for: a kinetic impactor and a nuclear device. Then the third one that we're gonna discuss is called the Europa Clipper. Europa Clipper. Now, the Europa Clipper is a spacecraft to conduct a detailed survey of the Jupiter's moon, because Europa itself is a Jupiter's moon, and it is aimed to assessing the suitability of the Europa to harbor the life, that whether it can be the life or not. Apart from that, if we read about the characteristics of this Europa, is basically that it is an icy planet, and the Hubble Space Telescope observed the water vapor over this thing, and which means that it has a subsurface ocean. So these are the main points regarding the Europa Clipper. The fourth one is basically the messenger. The messenger is basically in the news from last, I don't know, maybe more than 4 to 5 years now. The messenger is basically for the Mercury, where we have sent how to probe the the geology of the Mercury itself. So this is about the Mercury. The fifth one that we're gonna study was basically what we say Mangalyaan and the Mariner. We have also defined, so both the Mangalyaan was actually sorry, not Mangalyaan, it was a Magellan. I'm really sorry for this. It was Magellan, and there is one more, and that was basically the Mariner. Yes, Mariner 2. So these both are actually the different one, and both of them are used as a probe for Mars. It was actually early in 1960s, somewhere around. So this is what it is: so Magellan and the Mariner 2 for the Mars itself. It's a very low probability they can ask you this thing, but we should at least just go through this thing, that yes, they do exist. Then there is a CASSINI-Huygens. Cassini-Huygens. Now, it was actually a joint mission of NASA plus European Space Agency and Italian Space Agency ISA to Saturn. So it was a probe to the Saturn. Now it was done, I think it was like 2017, it was done the final flyby, and the first spacecraft to observe the presence of the hydrocarbon rains, rivers, lakes and seas on the Titan. So this is what it's mainly about. Then the next one that we're gonna study is basically the Discovery. So the Discovery is basically what we call the Mars lander itself. It was a Mars lander and rover mission. Similarly, there is next InSight. InSight is same as this one. It was also a Mars lander mission. So I'll do like this. Under the Discovery program itself, and near the equator of the Mars to study the Mars interior. So it will to study Mars interior. So this was mainly the InSight was about. And the next one in the list, shall we study about the Opportunity is also one of them, the Opportunity rover. It was also actually the Mars rover mission. So let's write it also here. Opportunity rover mission. This is also for Mars. It is a rover mission. And similarly, there is also a Curiosity. So this was also for the Mars itself. Number 10. Now there is one mission which was actually pretty famous in the news itself, and that is the Kepler mission. I hope you can read. Yeah. Now, the Kepler mission is a mission to study or to search the Earth-like planets around the Milky Way galaxy that might harbor life. So basically, searching for Earth-like planets where around the Milky Way. So this is mainly about the Kepler mission. It is a mission by the NASA itself, and important discovery it had made recently is, it has recently found the Kepler 22b. It was actually the planet found in the habitable zone. Now, put it right here. It was found in the habitable zone. Now, what is the habitable zone? So the habitable zone is also called a Goldilock zone. Goldilock zone here, right? Putting the star over this. So it is a region actually around a star at a distance where the liquid water could pool on a planetary surface and possibly support a life. So if you have these things in a planet, then that's called the habitable zone or the Goldilocks zone. So I repeat again, any region, okay, let me write it here. Any region around a star at a distance where the liquid water can be found on a planetary surface and it can support life. If these qualities do exhibit, then what we call as a Goldilocks zone or a habitable zone. Similarly, there is another one also. It has found recently, that is called the TRAPPIST 1. So this is actually the home to the 7 Earth-sized planet. This is amazing. And let's study the next one. 11th. So this would be like TES, TES. So this is basically the transiting the exoplanet survey satellite. So let me write it here. Transiting exoplanet survey satellite. Now this would be the successor of the Kepler mission itself. So this is pretty much a successor of Kepler and a 2-year mission in search of the exoplanets. So rest of the things are pretty much same as the Kepler. The next one that we're gonna talk about is basically, which was recently in the news, that is a Suomi National Polar Orbiting Partnership Satellite. So let's write it here. So Suomi National Polar Orbiting Partnership Satellite. So it is actually a joint mission between the NASA and NOAA to capture the illumination condition using a nighttime data. So what both of them does, it will capture the illumination conditions, illumination using nighttime data. Now this sounds very interesting, that they will launch a particular satellites, and these satellites, when they observe the Earth from above, they will see which portions of the Earth are illuminated good enough, and on basis of that, the higher the illumination means the higher the GDP of that place or a country. So I don't know how this thing will work and how many false positives will be there, but this is how they have said that yes, this can be one of the parameter that on the basis of the illumination. So this is what the Suomi National Polar Orbiting Partnership Satellite will do: illumination condition using a nighttime data, and on the basis of that it will calculate the GDP of the country. So on the basis of that it will calculate GDP. And then we have the, there was recently also the MODIS, MODIS. Now the MODIS is basically the Earth observation satellite of the NASA. It basically does the monitoring of the large scale changes in the biosphere to understand the change in the global carbon cycle. So it will, let me write with this pen itself, it will study biosphere. Alright. Then the next one that we're gonna study is regarding the Dawn mission. Dawn mission. So Dawn mission was basically, the main aim was to study the two important, let me write here, two important objects. First of all, in asteroid belt, that is the one which is basically called the Sirius, and the second one what we call as Vesta. Ceres and Vesta, CERES, and Vesta, VESTA. Now the Ceres is a dwarf planet. And the largest object in the asteroid belt. So the dwarf planet and largest in asteroid belt. Similarly, the Vesta is a protoplanet and is the second largest object in the region. The protoplanet is pretty much like a decade planet. So we'll discuss these things: what are the dwarf and what are the protoplanets, and everything regarding these things. What is a Kuiper belt and where it is exactly in the geography section. So this is mainly about the series Vesta. So the first spacecraft to orbit a body in the region between the Mars and the Jupiter, and the first mission to visit a dwarf planet. So you can mention it here itself that it has visited a region between Mars and Jupiter. Alright, so it is also the NASA's first deep space mission to be propelled by the ion engine. So it will use the ion engine here. We have already discussed about this one. Yes, so this is mainly about this one. We'll discuss the rest in the next lecture. Thank you.